Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan. I'm Dana Davidson here in the Daily Iowan newsroom, here to give you a quick look at what's going on around Iowa City. Even though the university has spent more than $500,000 over the past 2 years putting internet hotspots throughout the campus, some students are still having trouble accessing the internet. The problem has particularly affected those trying to access the internet in the residence halls. The use of the video game consoles and other electronic devices which require large amounts of bandwidth are the main causes of the problem. Despite the issues, not everyone is dissatisfied with the UI's wireless network.
Well, I'd say for the most part it works really well. I live in Reno and it connects pretty well. Sometimes it's a little iffy, but I just disconnect and reconnect and then it's good to go. I study in the library and it's usually good.
Check out tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan for a more in-depth look. And the start of a new school year means the start of a new attendance policy for students who receive financial aid. Daily Iowan TV's Nick Fetty has the full story.
Brian, Taylor, Ryan, Alex, Nick, Kyle, Tony, Marissa, Robin, Tijan, Deborah, Chapyeong, Wenju.
It should come as no surprise that if you go to college, you should attend class and receive the education you're paying for. It should also come as no surprise that some students choose not to go to their classes. This school year, attendance has become much more important for those receiving financial aid, and poor attendance may result in a loss of aid.
We're just taking proactive steps to notify students ahead of time as a reminder that you should keep attending classes. Instructors have always reported to the university if students are attending or not attending the university. We're just putting it out there a little bit more for students based on some program reviews that have happened across the country in other financial aid offices.
Even though students should be attending classes anyway, attendance will now be taken and reported for many discussions and small lectures. While attendance is often part of the grading system for many classes, it will now also be used to determine whether or not someone is eligible for financial aid. Last spring, about 75 students had to repay an average of $4,700 each because of this same policy. This is not a new policy either. It's just being enforced more this year than it has in the past.
These are regulated through the federal government, so they're not University of Iowa specific policies. You'll find these across the board at all institutions receiving federal financial aid.
So the moral of this story is simply to go to class. Nick Fetty, Daily Iowan TV.
The Office of Student Financial Aid encourages students to be familiar with deadlines for adding and dropping courses. Parking in downtown Iowa City is usually an ordeal, and it may become an even bigger issue as the city says it will begin ticketing people for refeeding their meters instead of moving their vehicles. Several downtown business owners say they're afraid the new policy will rush customers and adversely affect downtown commerce. Check out tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan for the full story. There are many food options downtown, but eating affordably can be a struggle. Daily Iowan TV's Jeff Shane gives you an inside look at the best eateries in downtown Iowa City.
It's official. The fall semester has started here at the U of I campus, and one thing students are constantly wondering about is where to get good, cheap food. Well, I'm going to take you around downtown right now and help you find some good meals for under $10 to help keep your wallets and your stomachs full this semester. The first stop on our food tour takes us south of the border. Pancheros has been an Iowa favorite since it opened in 1991, and students like the affordable prices and fresh product.
They make the food right in front of you, so it's very fresh. And then I get a burrito, so they mix up the ingredients right before they wrap it for you, so it's perfect.
Pancheros also offers a wide variety of things like salads, quesadillas, and more. Next, we'll take you to the Ped Mall, where late-night food stands offer a wide variety to go.
It's really nice when you're walking out of a bar and there's all these food options for you. You have like the burritos, the walking tacos, anything, and it's affordable, and usually the lines aren't too long.
Various food stands around Iowa City include options such as walking tacos, corn, gyros, and my personal favorite, Marco's grilled cheese. And prices usually range for around under $5. Pizza has always been very popular in Iowa City, and one of the most popular options is Mesa Pizza. Mesa opened its doors in spring of 2009, and students love all the different types of slices that only cost $3.
I think that Mesa probably has the best selection of any pizza place in town. A lot of fun slices. For example, the steak and guac is a pretty unique one. And it's just a fun atmosphere. So I think those two things really draw people in.
Make sure you get to Mesa early because late night lines can run all the way to the door. Our final stop on the food tour is University of Iowa's very own River Room. The River Room offers many different types of food from sushi to grilled food, and students like it because of its convenience.
You build the food. It has a lot of choices, a lot better choices than the dorms, better food than the dorms, and I mean it's pretty good food.
Students can now also use their meal plan for dining at the River Room. And that's your guide to all the best food offered in Iowa City. We hope you keep these recommendations in mind so you never go hungry again. Jeff Shane, Daily Iowan TV.
For more information about dining in Iowa City, check out the website at the bottom of the screen. Now let's go to Jake at the sports desk for some news about the Hawkeyes.
All right, thanks, Dana. Iowa's tilt with Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles is now only 4 days away, and there's a lot of unknowns about this school of approximately 8,000 people from Cooksville, Tennessee. It's a team with almost 50 upperclassmen returning. Let's take a brief look at what we can expect to see on Saturday. Tennessee Tech is led by fifth-year head coach Watson Brown, Mac Brown's older brother. Before his 18-27 record at TTU, Brown coached at Vanderbilt and UAB. He calls his offense the fastest 60 minutes in football. The man taking the snaps for the Golden Eagles is Trey Lamb. He started 8 games last season and is known to be a passer who is often under pressure. Last season, he threw 974 yards on 11 TDs, but missed the final 3 games of the season with a knee injury. Lamb is backed up by former Minnesota head coach Tim Brewster's son, Clint. And finally, the last player to watch for on Saturday is free safety Marty Jones. He started in every game last season and finished with 4 interceptions and led the team with 37 solo tackles. And of course, that game is set to kick off on Saturday at 11 a.m. But if you want more information about the game, make sure to tune into Daily Iowan TV on Thursday evening for our first edition of Pregame. And after fans watched the Hawks win the Insight Bowl last season, many people are anticipating the return of football to Iowa City. Daily Iowa TV's Shane Carney caught up with fans to gauge the excitement.
It has been 8 long months for Iowa fans since the Hawkeyes beat Missouri in the Insight Bowl, and since then, all the fans have been able to do is talk and speculate what the team could do this year.
I think we might be able to win our division, maybe finish second.
We could go maybe 10-1. I mean, schedule's not that toughish.
I mean, I'm really optimistic though. Just going out there playing Big Ten football and hopefully over-exceeding expectations.
No matter how the Hawks play this year, fans seem most excited to hear the roars to Kinnick again. Shane Carney, Daily Iowan Sports.
All right, thanks, Shane. Now, some may think of non-conference games as preseason games. Well, think again. Back in 2009, the Michigan State volleyball team, they finished with the same Big Ten record as the Hawkeyes, but the black and gold sat out of the NCAA tournament while the Spartans made the tournament. This was due to the Hawkeyes not executing in non-conference play. Now, head coach Sharon Digman knows the importance of these early games and would like to see her team turn that around.
This team really understands how important these matches are because you have to be 500, to have it. You can't get into the NCAA tournament without being 500. And, it's really critical for us to execute this non-conference schedule in the right way to give ourselves a chance to be in the NCAA tournament in the end. So then there's not near the pressure to win a certain number of matches in the Big Ten so yeah, it's really critical. There's a lot of Big Ten teams that would tell you the same thing. Some, they know what they're going to do at the end, and then there's other of us in that same boat where non-conference is really important.
The Hawkeyes now head to Ames this weekend. That's your sports update. I'm Jake Abrams. Dana, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Jake. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into the Wednesday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Read about goals the UI Democrats and Republicans have for the upcoming school year. And read more about an additional week of festivities that Dance Marathon is looking to add this year. And before I go, let's take a look at your local weather forecast for Wednesday. You can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 87 degrees tomorrow. Wednesday night should remain mostly clear and dip to about 70 degrees. And here's a look at the extended forecast. Thursday looks to be the hottest day of the week, and temperatures will cool down a bit after that. We should see temperatures in the low 80s for the weekend and a chance of thunderstorms for Saturday's football game. And looking ahead to the week, we'll see temperatures dip into the 70s with sunny and mostly clear skies. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Daily Iowan TV. You can check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for tuning in. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Dana Davidson.